And yeah, so today our theme is going to actually be total body strength. So we're going to be focusing on strengthening. So we are going to be using some weights. Here's the equipment that we'll need today. Definitely some type of dowel. Let me narrow this down a bit. So definitely some type of dowel. This can be, if you're wondering what a dowel is, this is just it's almost just like a broomstick, essentially. You can get these at like Home Hardware, very cheap. But if you have a cane or a crutch even, or a broomstick, a dead hockey stick, long umbrella, anything works really well. And just make sure it is wider than your shoulders. So it shouldn't be short. Okay, so nice and long. And then we're going to be using some bands. If you have a series of bands, I would have them nearby. People use different resistances for bands, so I'm typically not going to tell you exactly what to use, and all the brands, the brands are different depending on what brand you have. So go ahead and have brands handy, and depending on what we're doing, you can kind of pick a band that suits you for the day. Okay, so have those bands. Oh, and then just a note, if you are somebody that has some compromised grip, make sure you can always loop it ahead of time, so you can make a loop in it, or you can just be okay with wrapping around your hand. Okay. And then we are going to be using some type of weight. Okay, so I'm demonstrating with a dumbbell. That doesn't mean you have to have a dumbbell at home. You can find weight anywhere. You can get something in your kitchen. You could use a soup can. You could use a can of, I don't know, soda, or you could use anything really, a water bottle. If you want to go really strong today, you could find a wine bottle. It's a little heavier. You could also use a dumbbell if you do have it. I know some of us have dumbbells. Okay, so anything like that would work. We're just going to actually be needing one today. We're going to be doing a lot of unilateral work. Okay, and that is it for today. So go ahead and get that. And I'm going to actually call water today equipment because it's so hot. So make sure that you have something to hydrate you, water, BCAAs, whatever, electrolytes, anything. And then if you're really, really hot and you feel like you're going to get too warm, it's always nice to have like a cool towel on standby that you can use just to kind of cool down your neck and your forehead and such. For some of us, that's really handy. Okay. So I think almost all of us are on mute. Gordon, I'll just get you to mute yourself so that we can all, just in case there's background noise, and then everyone can hear me. And then thank you. And then we will get started. Okay, so we're going to start in a nice tall seat. Okay, so if you need a backrest, if you're in a chair or a scooter and you need your backrest, totally fine. But you might want to consider, if possible, is propping something behind you just to get yourself sitting up a little taller, if that's accessible to you. If you are able to sit away from your chair, that's awesome too. Okay. And we're just going to start by getting into our body with some breathing. So we're going to sit nice and tall. I'm going to shut my eyes. You can do the same if you're comfortable with it. And you're going to place one hand on your belly. Put this down a little bit so you can see. One hand on your belly. And we're going to do one hand on the chest today if you can. Okay, so here we go. Just nice, easy breathing. I'm not going to tell you how to breathe. We're just going to breathe. Try and slow it down. Try for 3 counts inhale and then 3 counts exhale. And I just want you to notice what you feel rising and falling. So is your top hand moving? Is your bottom hand moving, the one on your belly? Hopefully something's moving, which means we're breathing. Okay, tempo's up to you. We're just going to do about 5. But it wasn't. And again. And good. I'm going to do 2 more here. Just hit your 5 and then we'll meet up. Okay, good. So you can keep your eyes closed if you'd like, or you can watch and see what I'm doing just here to demonstrate. So we're going to get into our belly a bit more with our breathing. So what I want you to do is, keeping your hands where I asked you to place them, I want you to inhale, and I want you to try and only let this bottom hand expand. So imagine a balloon right at your belly button, right behind it, deep in your tummy. Okay, and then we're going to go inhale. And you should feel like that balloon is expanding like 360 all the way around. So even into the back body. Okay, so we're going to inhale. Feel that hand expand, and then you're going to exhale. And it's just going to gently fall in towards your spine. Okay, so we try that again. Inhale. Focusing on that low hand. And exhale. Okay, shut your eyes if you'd like. If you feel like you know what we're doing, you don't need to watch me. And inhale. This is more of a sensory feedback exercise. And exhale. And we're going to do last 6 here. Inhale. At your own pace, but try and slow it down a little bit more than you would if you were just to be breathing normally. Okay, someone asked me the other day if they should be breathing in and out of their nose or their mouth. I'm not going to be picky about that. So do what you like. Slowing it down more than you think. And coming up on probably the last one. And slowly release. Good. Okay. So now we're going to do just a gentle twist. So I want everybody to rotate, and you're going to look over your shoulder. So I'm using my hands on either my thigh, or you can like grab the rim of your chair. And I just want you to do a nice rotation, but to get the whole spine, we need to use our eyes and look over our shoulders. So I'm just going to set you on a timer. We're here for 30 seconds. No one should be looking at the monitor. We're all rotating, looking over our shoulder as best as we can. And awesome. Slowly unwind that. We're going to repeat to the other side. So rotating, make sure that your hips aren't moving. So we don't want to have like rotation in the hips. So keep your feet nice and flat on whatever surface they're on. And I want you to think of rotating from the trunk. Okay, so we're going to rotate, look over your shoulder, and we're on the clock. And just take notice if it's easier for you to rotate one way more than the other. Think of getting taller. Try and keep that belly breathing going. And slowly come back to neutral. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do some gentle cat-cows. So we're going to sit tall. I think some of you like to do this on the floor, so feel free. Otherwise, sitting tall, go ahead and tuck your chin down. So step 1 is tuck, and then roll all the way down until you can't roll down anymore. And you should be looking past your legs, down at the bottom of your chair. Take a deep breath at the bottom, inhale or exhale. And then slowly roll up, working your way to sitting tall. Okay, hands are going to go behind you somehow. So either like on your seat or on the armrests, shoulder blades in your back pockets. And I want you to lift your heart up to the ceiling and have your eye gaze up as well. So we're exposing the neck. Shoulder blades are squeezing almost down and back. And you're going to take a deep breath here. So this is spinal extension. We hardly ever get to this day to day, unless you're maybe a dancer doing yoga. So we want to make sure we hit that extension. Okay, tuck that chin, and we're going to do flexion again. So rounding in the spine all the way down. Slowly rolling down until you can't go anymore. Okay, you're taking a deep breath down here, slowly rolling up. Nice, and hands behind you, Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling and try and expose your neck. So right where your throat is. Take a deep breath. Inhale or exhale. Okay, notice how I'm not being picky on when you're breathing in or out. I just want everybody to breathe today, okay? And tucking your chin, rounding in the spine, all the way down. Nice and slow, especially if you get a bit dizzy when you move positions quickly. There's no race here. Okay, nice and easy, just warming up the spine for movement today. Deep breath in or out at the bottom. No one should be looking at the camera. Slowly rolling up, take your time, rolling up through the spine. Hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling. And take a deep breath here. Okay, we're going to do one more as a group, everyone. And last time, tucking that chin and rounding down. Excellent. Take a deep breath at the bottom. Inhale or exhale. And we're going to slowly roll up. This is your last time. We always end on an extension. So one last time, hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets, reach. And good. Today we're going to do a stir the pot. So we're going to lean to the side. I'm actually going to do this so people can kind of see what I'm doing. You're going to lean to the side so that you're, hopefully you're not on a couch like I am. And I just want you to do some really nice, easy circles as if you're stirring a big pot of soup. So there's no momentum. I don't want to see like a huge circle. It's just really tiny. It should be very little work. Okay, we're just trying to send some blood flow to the shoulder joint here. Once you've hit 10, you're going to repeat and go the other way. Really easy. Less is more on this one. And awesome. And then you'll switch sides. Okay, here we go. Leaning to the side. And make sure when you're leaning, we're all still keeping that nice broad chest. We're not collapsing over to the side, okay? If you need to hold on to something for leverage, that's fine. Hitting your 10, and then we repeat. And awesome, good. Okay, we're gonna take a nice big stretch right up to the ceiling. Hand or elbow on a surface if you'd like. Hand right up, just like you're going to grab something from the ceiling, and we're going to pull it down, and then we're going to switch. Reach and pull it down. Excellent. Reach and pull it down. Okay, if your neck feels good, go ahead and try and gaze up to the hand. Otherwise, you can keep looking forward. This back. And awesome, just a couple more here. Very nice. Now we're going to rotate. We already did a rotation today, but we're going to try and rotate and tap over your shoulder and then other side. Okay, you can use your bottom hand if you want and push against your thigh or the chair to try and get a little bit more twist. Reminder for those of you that have movement in your hips, controlled movement in your hips, I should say, try and really anchor those feet into the floor so we're not getting any wiggle parties. Okay, just nice and still in those hips, rotating from the abdominals. And awesome, good. Okay, take the hands up. We're going to go up, angels, so slightly tuck the chin. So we don't want to go up and look. We're looking straight ahead. And we're going to come down to 90 degrees, have those nice big spread fingers, and then up. Okay, for 10 here. Waking up those shoulders. And 6, nice everybody. And 8. This is 9. And 10, good. Now we take those shoulders and we're gonna roll them forward. 1. And 2, so just the shoulders are rolling. 3, so my arms are just relaxed at my sides. And 7. 9. Good, everybody. And then we reverse it going the other way, shoulder blades moving. Think of touching your ears with your shoulders. So we're making really big circles. 9, 10. Good. We did this one last week, I think. So syncopation, and we're going to go forward, forward. Actually, it's reciprocation. Sorry. So one goes forward, one goes forward, one goes forward. Some of us have smiles, which makes me think this might be a little bit of a brain teaser for some of us. And freeze, and then go backwards. 1, 2. There is a purpose to this. I'm not just trying to make us all feel silly. And 4, and 3. Good. 2. Nice, everybody. And 1. Awesome. Hands right up to the sides. Fingers are spread again. I know you can't see them in the camera here. And hug yourself. And then we're going to switch the top arm and then hug yourself. Good. When you're doing the open arms, everybody, make sure you're really opening up. So we're really trying to get a nice big pec stretch here. Yeah. We didn't do our pec releases today. So this is how we're going to release those pecs. Really focusing on that opening. Last thing in warm up, everybody. Six, 7, 8, 9. That's 10, and relax. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to start with the dowel. So go ahead and grab your dowel. We're going to do my favorite way to warm up shoulders even more, which is around the world. Everybody probably knows this. Okay, unless you're new, then this will be new. So hands, make sure they're wider than your shoulders. If you're somebody that feel like you have a lot of restriction in your shoulder when you go overhead, you might want to go wider. Okay, if you feel great going overhead, go ahead and challenge yourself and bring the hands narrow. Not too narrow, but a little wider than your shoulders. Okay, we're going to go straight up, keep the shoulders away from the ears, and then we're going to bring it back down. Just tap whatever's in front of you, your knees, your thighs. Okay, 10 of these here. And we're going to triple set this with 2 band exercises. Staying tall. And keep that breath going that we did at the beginning. Oh, yeah. Easily forgotten. Last 4. As soon as we bring in multitasking, sometimes it doesn't go so well. So little reminders can help us. And last time, especially when we're learning any new movements. And excellent. Okay, that's it with the dowel. So put that aside. Grab a light band. So if you have whatever that means to you, I'm not going to say yellow because the different brands have different color coordination. So grab a light band. I didn't say either. Like I said, most of us are regulars, but if you don't have a band, you can use stretchy pants, yoga pants, whatever, those work. Okay. We're going to do what we call staying alive. So if anybody remembers John Travolta, yeah. So we're going to have one hand at your hip and you're just going to hold the band however you can. Okay, I just wrap it. The other hand is going to hold palm up. Okay, so you just take the band and just place it palm up. So it's like we're hitchhiking. You're going to start at that hip and it's like we're staying alive. So we're going to go, right? Staying alive. So we're going up, but we're doing the hitchhike. We're not doing the pointer finger. So I think he does it like that. We're not doing that. So thumb up here to the corner and then back. So if your band's too tight, you're not going to be able to get it up. Just loosen it and give yourself more space. Okay. 10 to 15. Okay. So I'll demonstrate 15. If you have 10 in you, that's great. Awesome. 5 more here. Ish. And 2. Good. Staying alive. 3. 4, and that spot. Awesome, good. Okay, and then we switch sides. So for those of you on Ocean Insider Club, these actually aren't called staying alive. I think they're actually called sword pulls, in case you wanted to look these up. I should probably change the name though. I think staying alive is better. Okay, so we're here, thumb up, and here we go, other side. Okay, and just remember, sometimes we don't have, well, a lot of times, we don't have even abilities or strength or mobility on our right and left, legs, arms, whatever, hips. So don't feel like you have to be at the same tension on one side than the other. Okay, so work to whatever that side is able to do. So if it's too much and you're trying to do the same tension on your left and your right and you're not able to get out really good form, then lighten it up. You don't have to be even. That's why we're doing a lot of unilateral work today, so we can work for each side's abilities. And looking good. Stay nice and tall, nice long neck. We never want to look at the hand when it goes up. We're still looking anywhere just straight ahead on the plane. So just flat plane straight ahead. And last 3. And that is 3. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay. We are going to go into a hinge. So put the band away. We haven't done hinges in a few weeks, so there's a few variations we can do. Okay, so version 1 is if you have trouble leaning forward and we need our hands and we fall, this would be your version. So you're going to sit as tall as you can. Go ahead and have your hands on your thighs, and you're going to slowly slide your hands or walk your hands forward and hinge at the hips. So when I say hinge at the hips, let's see, can you all see? I'm hinging from here. So I'm tipping forward from here. If you can see my spine, if I was to put a dowel along my back, see, it's basically along the dowel. I'm not rounding like this. Okay. So that's what hinging is. It's from the hips here. So stay nice and long, hinge forward, hinge forward, hinge forward until you can't anymore, keeping that tall chest, and then walk your hands and walk up to sit even taller than you started. Okay, so we lean forward, da, 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 hinging from the waist, from the hips, and then we come up. Okay, that's version 1. If that seems pretty easy to you and you're able to hinge forward without your hands and without rounding in the spine, you're going to grab the dowel. You're going to place it right at your chest, and I want you to pull it into your chest the whole time. Elbows are slightly up, and we're going to think of hinging this way. So you're doing the same movement, but now we don't have help with our hands, and you're going to come right back up. So that it might not be as far of a hinge. It's only as far as you can without rounding and collapsing. Okay, so that's version 2. Version 3, if your hinge practice is awesome and that's all great and dandy, go ahead and practice with your arms above the head, coming into that overhead hinge, and then come on up. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate here. So I'm in the middle. Pick your poison, and then here we go. We're going to do 10. Okay, 3, 2, and go. Hinging. Everybody's kind of going to be at their own tempo. And come on up. Okay, eyes just stay, neutral. So keep that neck neutral. Eyes can just kind of go along for the ride. I'm looking ahead, and then as I hinge, I'm probably starting to look a bit at the floor. Okay, and we're always, if you're using that dowel, you're always pulling it into your chest. That's a hint. It's actually going to help you. It's going to keep your thoracic spine long. If we don't pull the dowel in, it's going to be a lot harder to maintain that long spine. So it's there to help you. Okay, shoulders are relaxed. Okay, coming up. When you're done 10, you can end. And I have 2 more on my count. And last one. And excellent. Good, everybody. Okay, so now we're going to do this circuit again. And it's going to go a little quicker because now we know what we're doing. So we have around the world, staying alive, both sides, 15 if possible, and then 10 hinges. Okay, grab a sip of water, and then we'll do these again. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Nice and tall. Think of moving through something thick like peanut butter. No rigid movements. Nice and smooth. Good movement quality is very important, especially in warm-up. And last 3 here. Just 10 for this one. Elbows stay straight. And beautiful. Okay, set that aside, but not too far. Grab your band. We're only doing 2 sets of this, so I'm going to decide to start on my other side, the one I ended with. If you have pretty even sides where you're not really sure what feels dominant, go ahead and do that. Switch on the other side. Otherwise, you can just start with your dominant side again. Here we go. So band at your hip, other hand there. We're hitchhiking, right? And we go up, staying alive, and down. 2. Okay, breathing, focusing on that belly breath. Okay, last 5-ish. Counting for yourself if you're not on my tempo. It's totally fine. You should start to feel this in the shoulder and the back, right where the shoulder blade is of the arm that's working. And slowly release. Awesome. Okay, switch sides. Hopefully we're getting warm. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Staying alive. So when you go up with the thumb, your shoulder blade is gliding down your back. It's the opposite of what you would think. Shoulder blade is going down and back on your spine. Awesome. Last 5 here-ish, depending on your tempo. And thumb up. And awesome. Beautiful. Good. Okay, set that aside. Hinges. So if you need the dowel, grab your dowel. If you don't need the dowel, don't grab the dowel. Here we go. We're doing 10 last time. If you're using the dowel, pulling it in at your chest. 3, 2, and 1. We're hinging. Think of bowing to the queen across the room, keeping that necklace showing off, which means we're not rounding in the shoulders. We're keeping that dowel tense right across your chest. Think of anchoring your feet into the floor. So you're really anchoring, feeling heavy in the hips, using the feet to slightly give you some leverage as you hinge back upwards to sitting up tall. Okay, last 4. Nice, everybody. Three and 4. Getting as tall as you can and beautiful. Good. Okay, we're done with that circuit. So go ahead and grab a sip of water, and then we're going to start again with a band. If you have more than one band, you might want to go a little heavier for this one, depending on where you're at. Definitely grab one that's a bit longer, because we're going to be putting this under our feet or under our chair, anchoring it somehow on the ground. Okay, so we're going to be doing an alternating bent over row. Okay, so for those of you that haven't done this with me before, I'll just bring this down to the floor. Take your band and I want you to put it under your feet. Can everybody see that? So I'm standing on it, okay? If you aren't able to do that, it can go under your foot plate if you have a foot plate, okay? Next step is if you need that support. So if you were somebody that didn't use a dowel for the hinge, I want you to just grab something for your chest and for your sternum, and you're just gonna lean forward so that you have it for support, so that we're not rounding forward. Okay, if you don't need anything, that's fine. You're just gonna hold that hinge position that we just did. Okay, you're gonna grab the band with both hands. Okay, alternating row means we do one arm at a time. So holding the band, you're gonna do one arm, row, back, and then you're gonna do the other arm. Okay, and your eyes are gonna stay down, so your forehead is straight ahead to the monitor. And we're gonna be doing 15 on each side, so it ends up being 30, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. If you need to do less reps, that's totally fine, especially if you are somebody not using support. Sometimes this hinge position gets to be a bit too much. It can really fatigue the trunk muscles. So even if you are able to hinge without support, you might want to consider it for this one, just so that you can get out more reps of the row. Okay, so I'll let you think about that. We will do another round. And keeping that chest nice and tall. Think of squeezing that shoulder blade, elbow going down and back. Abdominals drawing in, so think of your belly button going to your spine. And deep breathing. Okay, if you're off of my tempo, you probably won't be able to watch me because your eyes are on the floor, so make sure you're counting for yourself. When you're done your rep, you can just come and sit tall and I'll meet you when you're done. Almost there. And finishing that up. Awesome. Good. And you can just leave the band on the ground. Excellent. Woo. So for those of you that didn't hear me, if you were concentrating, even if you don't typically use support, if you found that that was too long to be in your hinge, then I'd rather you get support. This is a little big, but the block I was using, and do the exercise with support so that you can focus on the shoulder blades, just because we're doing higher reps, okay? All right, from there, you're gonna grab your weight, whatever it is. So I'm gonna hold the dumbbell, single arm overhead press. If you need stability, go ahead and hold on to something next to you. Otherwise, hand is dangling at your side, arm up like this, elbows out to the side. There should be a beautiful 90-degree angle with that elbow. And then we're going to take the dumbbell and press and arc it right up over the head and bring it right back down. Okay, watch we don't drop the elbow too low. We don't want to come all the way down here. We want to just come to this 90-degree angle, like maybe an inch below it, but that's it. Okay, here we go. 15 if you can. And breathe. Okay, almost there. And awesome. Okay, when you hit your 15, switch. If you have a heavier weight and you want to work in a lower rep range, that's totally fine. 10 reps, 12 reps, totally okay. It's up to you. I'm doing a higher rep so that everybody has time. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, we're on the other side now. 1. If you used stability or you didn't use stability on one side and you can do that for the other side, try and match it. If you're unable to, totally fine, but sometimes subconsciously we hold on one side, not the other. So I just wanted to remind everyone to match it. Okay. And not looking up at the hand. Remember, when we go overhead with weight like this, we don't want to look up. And almost there, breathing. And good, take a little break. So because that has two sides, and then we have the alternating, it takes a little longer. So we're gonna do that and call that a superset, okay? So now's your break. I'm gonna time it. You get 40 seconds, and then we're doing this again. Okay, you're on the clock. Get some water, cool yourself down. For those of you that are newly joining today, if you have any questions or comments about anything, just write it in the chat. You can even make it private, so it's just me that sees it if you want. And I'll answer your question as soon as we have breaks, okay?
Is it okay to use different weights on each arm?
Is that for your elbows? Yeah. Yeah, if you want for that, that's fine. Just do heavier, do less reps for the weight, and then do more reps for the no weight. So if you're doing no weight on the right, do 15. And if you're doing weight on the other side, just do like 10. Cool? Okay. Yeah, if anybody in here has an injury, definitely do what you need to do to work around it. And if you're not sure, you can always ask. Okay. All right. That was definitely more than 40 seconds. Here we go. So just a reminder, band down here, right? Okay, we're doing alternating. If you didn't like how that felt with the higher reps, go ahead and grab some support so that you can support yourself a little bit. Otherwise, we're hinging forward. We're grabbing the ends of the band nice and tall. Shoulders are back. Eyes on the floor. 3, 2, and we're alternating, driving those elbows down and back. I want you to feel your shoulder blades gliding into the middle of your spine. And we're breathing. Okay, I'm about halfway. Abdominals drawing in, so think belly button to the spine. Chest nice and lifted, like you're showing off a necklace, just like in that hinge exercise we did. Almost at the end here. This is 8, 9, and done. Beautiful. Okay, leave it down there. Go ahead and grab your dumbbell. Same rule as the staying alive. If you have a very, very dominant hand or side, so for like Doreen, start with your weighted side. Otherwise, go ahead and switch if you're not sure. Switch your leading arm. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We press over the head. Make sure you're arching it a little bit over. Yeah, so it's coming up and then it's coming right to the center. Good. Deep breath. Keep that chin slightly tucked. Nice, everybody. This is 15 for me. Hit your 15 if you can, and then we switch sides. All right. Woo. Getting warm. Here we go. 3, 2, and other side 1. Try and match your other hand. So if you didn't need a stabilizing hand on the other side, try and do it for this side. Have it just at your side. Feet flat on the floor or your foot plates, no wiggles in the hips. Pressing right up to the ceiling. Nice arc. Shoulders away from those ears. 2 more. And beautiful. Bring that down. Good. I said we were going to keep the band down there. I totally lied. So just take it out. We're only going to do the 2 sets. So we're going to move on. Okay. So take the band out from underneath, grab a little sip of water, and then we're going to go into our next circuit. We're going to be using the weights again to start. Sorry. Little shorter break this time. Okay, so we've done our overhead press. So we're just going to do our curl now. So we're going to be doing single arm curl. Okay, so we're going to be hitting bicep. This muscle is really important for a lot of us, especially if we are wheeling. If any of us are using a manual chair, okay, or arm crutches as well. Okay, so weights, how we do a curl. There's different ways to do the curl. Today, we're actually going to do neutral grip. So it's not going to be fingernails to armpits, which is probably the one I do most with this group. So you want to think of, instead of that, you want to think of the end of the weight coming up to the shoulders. So you can see my fingernails are facing that way. They're not facing me. Okay, so neutral grip. So if you're holding a dumbbell, I would see the bottom of the dumbbell and then top of the dumbbell. Yeah. Okay. So when we do this, shoulder blade is back. We're not in here. Okay, so get nice and long in that collarbone. If you need to stabilize with this hand, that's fine. Curl, that elbow stays there. We're not lifting it up at all, and you're controlling it all the way down. Make sure you're not doing semi-reps. So we don't want to stop here and then come back up, okay? You want to take it all the way down. Control. Doreen, with your elbows, if this feels good, go for it. Otherwise, go ahead and do some of these ones that you have. Okay. Here we go. 15, 3, 2, and 1. Same thing with anyone else. If this isn't doable for you, or you want an alternative, just let me know. I just know what Doreen's working on, so feel free to share. Otherwise, let's all do curls. Curls for the girls. It's beach weather. Beach bodies. If you have a body, you have a beach body. And 6, good. Okay, once again, 15 is what I'm demonstrating, but if it's fatiguing and you feel your form going a bit, stop at the number you need to stop at. Okay. And awesome, beautiful. Okay, switching sides. Same rules on this side. So fingernails facing the other way. Elbow stays in at your rib cage. What I mean by that is I don't want to see this when you curl up, right? The elbow's staying glued there. Okay, shoulder retracted. 3, 2, and 1. Nice long spine. Think of sitting really tall. Okay, last 5 here. 4, and that's 5. Beautiful. Okay, set the weight down. We're going to do some dips. If you don't do dips or your wrists don't like them, you can do the version maybe that I taught you before. Anybody, if you do know this one, you can put it at the door and you can do your extension here, or if you're able to, you can just hold it and do a tricep extension here. If you're not sure, I'd rather you do dips. So try it with me. So if you have, obviously I don't have armrests here, but if you have armrests or your chair here, go ahead and wing your elbows in. You can slightly tip forward and you're going to take your hands and you're going to push yourself up and you're going to release and come back down. Okay. So notice when I do it, I'm not here. Okay. So try your best. Get those shoulders, wing them back, come up and then come down. Okay. And we can tip forward. That's totally okay to tip forward. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. If you know that that's not something for you, go ahead and grab that band, hold it out in front, and you can just extend. Think of kicking that arm back so that we can feel this muscle here. Okay, here we go. Only 10 of these. 3, 2, and 1. We're lifting. Keep those shoulders away from those ears and down. Good. So no shrugging, right? Stay nice and long in the neck. For those of you that use chairs, like any type of chair or scooter, you'll notice this is a part of your transfer, right? Whether you walk or not, we have to do this at some point. So that's why I prefer, if you can, hit these dips, because it's going to be a direct translation to some of the movements you have to do in your day-to-day. Okay, keep going. Just 10, remember. And awesome. And then take a little break. Woo, good. Okay. When I say little break, I mean little break, because we're going to get all this in again. One more time. We're going to go over a minute or two, but that's okay. Here we go. Bicep curl, single arm. Nice long neck. Stabilize if you need to. Elbow at the rib. 3, 2, and 1. Hammer curl. Okay, so fingernails facing the other way. And nice. Keeping that elbow glued. Breathing. Last 5 here, everybody. And 4. And awesome. You're done with that for today. Okay, other side. Getting ready. 3, 2, and 1. Stay tall. Nice long neck. Belly breaths if you can multitask. Almost there. Counting down. This is 4. Shoulders are back. I don't want to see any rounding. And 2. And that's 1. Awesome. Okay, you're done with that. Grab your band if you're going to do the alternative. Otherwise, roll those shoulders back. Hands at your sides or on your armrests. Elbows are winging back. 3, 2, and we're going to do dips. Lift, shoulders away from the ears and down. If you don't have your elbows going back and you wing out this way, you're not going to feel the backs of your arms. Okay, and that's what we're trying to hit. Lift. Try and extend all the way if possible. So get those elbows straight. If you're working with an injury, obviously do what you can. 1 more as a group. We're almost there. And slowly shake that out. Just shake those arms out. Woo! Awesome. Good job. So if you're going to do a stretch on your own today, I do recommend going up to a wall and just doing a nice pec opener, or taking your hand on a table and just rotating this way so you can get a bit of that bicep stretch here. Okay. You can also look up on the website under stretching, and there's a whole ton of stretches there for some upper body that we did on Ocean Insider Club. Okay. All right. Excellent job, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thank you if you were new for coming. Wendy, thanks for coming. That was awesome. And I hope to see you all next week. I'll stay on for a minute or two if anyone has any questions or comments. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Thank you.
Great to see you, everybody. Hey, Megan, so the chair dips, do I put my hands on the wheels?
You can, yeah, as long as your brakes are on, obviously.
All right, like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, you can do that. Some people prefer that because of your wrists.
Okay.
Yeah, and just watch the wrist. Just make sure that it's not going all into the wrists. If they are, we need to change the hands a little bit.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Good workout. Good workout. See you tomorrow.
Awesome. See you tomorrow.
Wendy, Tori, Nicole.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let everybody go then if no one has any comments. Thanks, Nicole. See you next